Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown and Dunkirk, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County. From supporting people with disabilities to enjoy great lives, to providing health care services that are available to anyone, the Resource Center has been improving our county for more than 60 years. Learn more about how the Resource Center makes a positive difference in people's lives.
Is getting vaccinated on your to-do list? We can help you check it off, because we make getting vaccinated easy. You've got this, because we've got you. To learn more, visit yougotthis.usaging.org.
From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Doc Hamels, and we got a really fun show in store for you today. You know, we talk about all kinds of things here on the show, and in the last few shows we've been talking about some heavy-duty stuff, suicide, mental health, veteran services and their needs and so forth. But today we're going to talk about some other things, and it's kind of hopefully a little happier, even though all those other things have good, happy results. But we talk about everything here, and it's all about Chautauqua County. It's not just outside of Chautauqua County, and for the most part, it's what's happening. So we try to put a spotlight on all aspects of our communities here, the good, the bad, the sad, the happy, and so forth. And so today, well, all I got to tell you is stay tuned, because it's going to be a fun show. Okay, let's see. I have my little chart here we developed. It's a very expensive chart, as you can see. So it's Good Morning Mayville. It's a little cloudy, and I'm hoping the sun will shine. We haven't seen it, in 2 weeks or something like that. Good afternoon to my viewers in the Netherlands and Germany. It's 3 o'clock, Justin. See how my chart's really working here. Good afternoon to our friends in Kiev, Natalia and company. Hope you're doing well and being safe. And good tomorrow in Australia. It's tomorrow already there, as far as I know. It's yesterday here to them, but tomorrow for us. Anyways, this time thing gets me a little goofy. It's 1 a.m. in Australia, so for those of you that are watching us around the world, hi. Okay, let's see. I want to say good afternoon to all my listeners on WRFA 107.9, Low Power of the People in Jamestown. You listen to us on Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. And then if you want to see what we look like, you can watch us on Spectrum 1301 Tuesdays. No, every day, from 2 and 8, right? Okay, so we're everywhere throughout the county, and I'm so happy to be able to do that after all these years. We're in our 10th season, and today is 497. We are 3 shows away from hitting the big 500. Justin, contain your excitement. He's dancing over there. He's just... And we have a very special show for our 500 show. So it seems hard to believe that we all have been here in a combination of myself and the crew here and guest hosts and so forth. 497 so far, but wow, 500. I know we talked about being having 200 shows and it was a big deal, and then 300 and 400. 500. Hey, if you're watching and you want to give us a call and you want to talk to myself, you have an announcement, or you want to talk to my guest, I recommend talking to my guest, 716-753-5225. All right, that's a live phone number, and sometimes you hear from Linda, sometimes we hear from Mike from Portland. Sometimes you want to wish somebody happy birthday. You have a chicken barbecue, a spaghetti dinner, a fundraiser of some sort, or anything that's going on in your part of the county, give us a call. If you're too shy, talk to Operator Randy. He'll write it all down, and then they slip me the paper, and then I'll announce it. If you are watching this later in the week, as always, you can just email me at chautauquasunrise@gmail.com, and just like I do every week, we'll make your announcements, okay? So other things that are going on is if you are a follower of the show Oak Island Plus. That's a video podcast that Jim McQuiston and I have developed since last March. It will be broadcast this week. I don't remember, is it 4 and 10? Something like that? He'll let me know here in a second. Anyways, that'll be featured this week starting today. And this Wednesday, Jim and I are going to be producing our 10th episode. And the thing that just continues to amaze me is social media. You know, we talk about getting this show out throughout the world. Last I checked, we have had Oak Island Plus in, I think, 23 different states and 5 countries, and we broke 18,000 views the other day. What the heck? And we produce it right in Westfield, New York at the Innovation Studio. And Randy Burt, who is part of our crew here, he's our cameraman, and we produce a local video podcast that goes around the world. So very, very cool. So if you want to catch it, that'll be... Say again? 1 in 7. I wasn't even in the right ballpark. So just before this show, every day this week, Oak Island Plus, episode number 9. So we hope you enjoy that. It's a lot of fun talking about history, and we kind of give a different side to the Oak Island mystery if you watch it on the History Channel. Okay, let's see, what else do I have here? All right, I have some announcements I want to share with you, and then we will get to my guests who are anxiously waiting to get on. Today's the day. Open Doors, or Doors Open Jamestown. Ready? I'm going to go through the best list I can as fast as I can, but also I want to remind you that there are some that I'll try to highlight that you have to do a reservation. You have to call ahead. It may be too late by now, I don't know. But anyways, this is the 20th year for Doors Open Jamestown, and it's today. 19 participating local attractions. Each year, the Jamestown Committee of the Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce pulls together the attractions and local businesses to take part in this wintertime scavenger hunt. Visitors can see firsthand what local museums and attractions have to offer as the venues open their doors for free during what would otherwise be a slow time of year. As I said last week, how many people that I knew growing up in Buffalo never went to Niagara Falls? Well, this is an option here, folks, for all of us here in Chautauqua County to say, well, we got all these wonderful things here, but we don't have time to go. It's free. Today is a free day as a gift to our community. So let's see what we got here. The Jamestown area is fortunate to be home to so many outstanding attractions that draw tourists here. So here we go. The Audubon Community Nature Center over on Riverside Road. That's the first one. Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce over 300 Main Street. The Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame. Sounds familiar. It's over there, 15 West 3rd Street, or at the 50-yard line, as they tell me. I remember these things. The Elizabeth Warner Marvin Community House, 2 West 5th Street. Okay, the Fenton History Center, you're supposed to have a reservation, but maybe you give them a call just to see if they still have some openings at 67 Washington Street. Infinity Visual and Performing Arts over at 301 East 2nd Street, one of my favorite groups in the whole world. Suite 101, they are open. The James Prendergast Library Association. You might say, why would I go to the library? When was the last time you were in the library? Our libraries today are not the libraries of our childhood. They are community centers now, so they're way, way, way cool. This one, the Lucille M. Wright Museum, if you've never been there, that's pretty cool. 110 3rd Street. Then, of course, you have to have a reservation for the Lucille Ball Desi Arnaz Museum at 2 West 3rd Street. A lot of things on 3rd Street. So you could walk up and down that street and go to all kinds of places. The Lucille Ball Little Theater of Jamestown over at 18 East 2nd Street. Mart's Coal Observatory over in Robin Hill Road. I think that's in Frewsburg. If you need to go to the National Comedy Center, it might be too late. You needed to have a reservation. That's over at 203 West 2nd Street, but doesn't hurt to call. Same thing for the Northwest Arena. They required a reservation over on West 3rd Street. Then we have the Partridge Sheldon House over on Prospect Street. They are open. Pearl City Clay House. We talk about that quite often. Over at 220 East 2nd Street is open today. The Reg Linnaeus Center for the Arts. If you haven't been in there lately, gorgeous. The Robert H. Jackson Center. Talk about gorgeous. Holy cow. Look at, if you go there, you won't believe the woodwork. It's unbelievably beautiful there. Lots of history there too. That's at 305 East 4th Street. If you want to go down Curtis Street, go check out the Roger Torrey Peterson Institute. I played there a couple of years ago. Phenomenal place. The Winifred Crawford Dieberg Boys and Girls Club of Jamestown over on Elm Street's open, and the hours for the ones that you don't have to have a reservation are from 10 a.m. right after this show, so don't go yet, till 4 p.m. throughout the day today. I already told you that part. Let's see. So they're just encouraging everybody to get out and have some fun. It looks like you can enter a contest, and they are going to give out some prizes. And so I'm not going to go through the whole list because there's all kinds of things here that are given away. But anyways, that's going on. So just in case you want more information, you can give them a call at 484-1101 and ask for Carrie Swanson. She'll probably take your call. All right, let's keep moving. Slide 15. Ready? Here we go. Infinity's Pearl City Clay House that I just mentioned is a location hosting several classes and workshops in clay, fabric, arts, and contemporary crafts during the month of February. Special Valentine's Day classes and events for couples and holiday break class options for littles, and their caregivers are also being offered. Walk-in hours in the Paint Your Own Pottery studio are available during business hours. This is a program that's been growing in leaps and bounds. This is really a lot of fun. For more information, visit Pearl City Clay House, all one word.org, and you can look at programs. Classes just start at $10, and they're open to the community for all ages. If you want to talk to somebody, call Stephanie Rogers at 450-1474, or you can go to infinityperformingarts.org and look that one up. Okay, did you get your vaccines yet? Dana Corwin, part of the Office for the Aging Services, was here a while back and was talking to you about vaccine clinics. So here are two that she wanted me to tell you about. If you live in the Ripley area, like I do, at the Ripley Food Pantry, which is at the school, there's going to be a clinic Tuesday, February 6th from 2 p.m., one in Findlay Lake at the Community Connections, Wednesday, that's February 7th at 1 p.m. The Fredonia Farmers Market, which is in the Masonic Hall. If you remember, we talked about that last week. It'll be held Saturday, February 10th from 10:30 a.m. They're giving giveaways if you get your shot, and they have gift packages and things like that, a blanket, and then it was a box of goodies, if I remember right. So if you want to get your shot, you get a present. So get out there. There's no reason why you shouldn't. All right, let's go to the theater. Reg Linnaeus. All right, this is where I stutter and get stuck on long names from around the world. Let's see, the first one's called The Anatomy of a Fall. This is going to be shown February 7th at 7 p.m. It's been nominated for 5 Academy Awards. Not too shabby. Best Picture, Best Director, Justine Triet. Best Actress, Sandra Hula. Best Original Screenplay and Best Editing. This is what happens. When her husband Samuel is mysteriously found dead in the snow below their secluded chalet, Sandra becomes the main suspect when the police begin to question whether he fell or was pushed. The trial soon becomes not just an investigation, but a gripping psychological journey in the depths of Sandra and Samuel's complicated marriage. With conflicting evidence and inconsistent testimony, words are wielded like weapons, and shocking truths come to light in this thrilling Palma d'Or winner. It's 152 minutes, and like I said, it's up for a lot of awards. Then The Color Purple February 10th, 8 p.m. The extraordinary sisterhood of three women share one unbelievable bond in the color purple. Torn apart from her sister and her children, Celie faces many hardships in life, including an abusive husband. With support from a sultry singer named Shug Avery, as well as her stand her ground stepdaughter, Celie ultimately finds extraordinary strength in the unbreakable bonds of a new kind of sisterhood. Directed by Blitz, oh boy, Bazawula, and produced by Oprah Winfrey, Steven Spielberg, Scott Sanders, and Quincy Jones. The whole novel is based. It's based on the novel of Alice Walker, and it's rated PG-13, 141 minutes long. You want tickets? 484-7070. All right, moving along. This is one of those, mark your calendars. It's time for the Animaniacs. In concert, join the voices of Animaniacs, the iconic animated Warner Brothers series produced by Steven Spielberg, for a zany I can't say these words. Totally insane evening as they perform the world-famous songs from the beloved cartoon series backed by the original projected animation. The concert's March 2nd at 7:30 p.m. and it's just going to be a great evening. The show remains as topical and relevant today as it was when the TV series was debuted in the early 1990s. Did you watch that? You did? Okay, I was working. With new episodes currently streaming on Hulu, Animaniacs is a multi-generational animated favorite with universally recognized hit songs. I can't tell you one of them, but I'm sure a different generation would know that. Let's see. Again, you can go to the box office, 484-7070. And finally, my Rotary Club is finalizing the ticket sales. And that's slide 18, $20 if you buy a group of 5 with your friends. We're giving away $1,000 a grand prize, and that's being supplied by the South Ripley Solar Project. And then there's all kinds of gift certificates that are going to be given away that are being sponsored by a lot of the local vendors in the area. So if you're interested, call Katie Riley at 716-785-1384. As I said, tickets are $25, but if you get a group of you, they're only $20, and you can contact any Rotarian, including myself. We will be doing a live streaming program next Saturday at 7:30, where I'll be emceeing the final, I think it's 10 tickets, and all the prizes that go with it. Stay tuned. We're going to have a little public service announcement. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in New York, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Okay, so today's show has a special introduction that I've never done before. Justin, would you assist me and get me my prop, please? We did something very special because this is what we have to do when my guest comes here every week, every year. This is called the official put on our seatbelt, because Randy Anderson is in the house, and I literally have to strap on my seatbelt because he's like high energy. Here we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, Randy Anderson is in the house. So I'm going to sit back and let him do the show. Good morning, Randy. How are you?
Well, for once I'm speechless, Doc. For once I'm speechless.
Oh,
you got me this time.
The crew, Andy, one that got Randy, he brought in the seatbelt for me. So, because we say every time, how many times you been on the show now? It's got to be 8 or 9 times.
Yeah, it's been great. I appreciate
it.
you and your crew having me
I'm strapped
every
in,
year.
I'm ready to go.
It's fun this year, and it's going to be even better than normal because I brought a dynamite guest with me today.
Okay, we can't.
I'm going to go through my part fairly quickly, and then we're going to get into Cheryl.
All right, so let's start the topic out. We're going to talk about the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame inductees 2024.
So on February 19th, that's President's Day. We purposely do our annual banquet on President's Day every year because it's easy to remember the date. So we are going to have our 42nd annual induction dinner on
got-
President's
You've
Day.
got me beat by 32. The 42nd?
Yes. And this year we will induct 9 new inductees
Really?
into our Hall of Fame. That will bring our total to 240 over the last 42 years.
And
So
these,
if
are
you
all
do
people, these people from Chautauqua County.
they are all Chautauqua County folks.
amazing.
That's when you hear about the accomplishments of these resumes, these inductees, and our previous inductees. It's a world-class group.
You
of
have
people.
never disappointed.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, I would like to introduce our other 8 inductees, and then I'll get to our live guest, Cheryl.
Okay.
So run it, Jeff.
Okay, so we got some pictures here.
For the first time ever in our history, we are going to induct more women than men
As you should.
into our Hall
As
of
you
Fame.
should.
It's about time, I'll say that.
Where they've been hiding all these years.
Well, you know, part of it is you can only make an induction if you receive a nomination. And we haven't received lots of women nominations over the years. Title IX has had a huge impact on that. So we're seeing all the great athletes who grew up in the Title IX era now
In Title IX being
having
equal opportunity
nominations
in all
at-
sports and so forth.
Right. So prior to Title IX in 1972, women didn't have athletic opportunities. So it was hard for a woman to accomplish something Hall of Fame worthy. But with the advent of Title IX in 1972, women had the opportunities that they deserved, and now we're seeing the fruits of their labors by
Excellent.
inducting them into
Well,
our
this-
Hall of Fame.
I can't wait. So let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Who's the first one?
So this is Karen Bakewell. She is the only person in the history of Chautauqua County to win an NCAA Division I individual track and field championship. She was the 800-meter national champion for Miami of Ohio.
Did you ever run the 800 meter?
I get tired driving 800 meters.
When I was in high
Next picture.
No. Wait. I want to talk about this real quick, because I know we want to move along, but I think people got to understand that when I was in high school, it has nothing to do with her, that they wanted me to run track, and I said, okay, well, they said, well, you could, there's the 400 yard or whatever they call it, 400 meter.
Probably 440.
The
when you were
440,
run-
that's the one.
When you were running
That'd be
it
dating
back
me.
in the dark ages.
The 440, and I said, well, heck, that's not very long. And I said, I'll try that out. Well, they didn't tell me it was a sprint. And the 800 is the same thing, right?
It's a sprint.
It's like a half a mile or something.
Yeah.
Right? That is no small accomplishment.
Karen, at the time, she set the national record. It was around 2 minutes flat, something like that.
Show off.
That's still a good time.
That's what I did for the 440, by the way.
Next photo, please.
Okay.
This is Daniel Briner.
I know Danny.
He will be the first Special Olympian
Oh,
ever
my.
inducted into the
Oh,
Chautauqua
my.
Sports Hall of Fame.
Good for
He
Dan.
was a world gold medalist in the Special Olympic arena for the sport of roller skating. But Danny was accomplished in a number of sports, and we're really proud to
Holy
induct our
mackerel.
first Special Olympian.
Oh, well done, well done. I remember I was a special ed teacher. I remember him, growing up, a little guy, and I remember he was a skater. I remember that.
Danny did everything, and
Well, terrific.
it's great. It's great.
Wonderful. Great picture of him.
This is Tom D'Angelo. Tom D'Angelo is an inductee of the Jamestown Area Bowling Association Hall of Fame and the Chautauqua County Umpire Hall of Fame, and this year will be the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame inductee.
There's no umpires in bowling.
Those are two different halls of fame, the Bowling Hall of Fame and the Umpire.
He's
Hall
in
of
two
Fame.
different Hall of Fames and now a third.
And now he'll be in a third one this year.
Wow.
About time we got with the program, I guess.
Well, who'd he bowl for?
Variety of teams.
Okay.
Variety of teams. He was a master level bowler, so I mean, very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, super.
This is Doug Kaltenbach. Doug is the third winningest baseball coach in the history of Chautauqua County high schools. He formerly coached and taught at the Westfield Academy and Central School.
Wow, the third winningest baseball?
He won 480 some ball games and lost like 150. He's got like a 75% winning percentage over 30 years at Westfield.
Wow, congratulations. Terrific. Now, all these people are available to come to the induction?
Danny is deceased and will not be there,
Okay.
and Tom D'Angelo is deceased and
All right.
will not be there, but
Their
their
family
family members will be there.
Okay, terrific. Okay, who's next?
This is Rod Malloy. You could tell that Rod Malloy made his props in the world of auto racing. He's a two-time super late model champion and driver of the year at State Line Speedway.
You know a little bit about that, don't you?
We know a little
Motorhead,
bit
you?
about auto racing. That's my forte.
That was something we discovered. I didn't know that about him. And then it turns out he hung out with my brother-in-law's cousin all these years.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what's his?
Rod Malloy.
So, and he won a bunch of races.
A ton of races,
Ton of races.
And track championships, and very deserving of this honor.
Okay. Boy, the sports are all over the place, aren't they?
This is Carlene Sluberski. She was a graduate of Fredonia Central. When she was a senior in high school, she was a wrestler. A wrestler.
What year? What was that?
This would have been around the 2000s.
Okay.
Back then, there wasn't female wrestling. She was wrestling boys. She won 118 matches against boys, and when she was a senior, she placed second in the entire state at the state tournament in the 96-pound division. Wrestling boys, she broke 2 fingers in the final match. Otherwise, I think she could have been a state champion. Now, Carlene has taken women's wrestling to another level because she is now a coach. She's coached at a number of colleges across the United States and just recently has moved back to Erie County, and she's the head women's wrestling coach at Dewville.
Dewville. You know, I could be wrong, but I think I remember seeing her wrestle because I was superintendent at that time. And I remember there's this skinny little girl that would have they had caps on their heads. And the boys would be standing there going, please don't, because, you know, they have multiple kids in the same weight class. And they would be petrified because it was like, do I have to wrestle her or you can wrestle her? And she'd get out there and just maul these guys.
She's tremendous.
I think I saw her, yeah.
Yeah, well, nowadays in high school, they have women wrestling teams,
there
but
was
she was doing it against the guys.
There was a whole
that
bunch-
makes her
A
special.
bunch of women that just went to states. It was
Yeah.
in the paper I saw.
Yeah, a girl from Chautauqua Lake finished 4th
Wow.
in the women's division. Carlene did it in the men's division.
Wow.
This is Karen Tellinghusen, originally from Falconer, New York. She will become our first deaf Olympian to be an inductee of the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame. She won a gold medal in the javelin in Romania back in the 70s. And 4 years later, she went back to Germany and she won a bronze medal in the World Deaf Olympic Games. Think about that.
I am. Now, she did not participate in the Olympics that we always see on TV. This is a
No,
different
this is
group?
the World Deaf Olympians. So everybody that competed at that World Games was hearing impaired. Much like when I was talking about Danny Briner
Yeah.
going to the World Special Olympics.
Yeah. This is way cool.
But still, when you're beating everybody that's in your peer group
Right.
in the entire world, you deserve to be in the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. I've never heard of the Deaf Olympics. That's way cool.
Aren't you glad you came to my show today?
Wait a minute. This is Chautauqua Sunrise with Randy Anderson.
Yeah, I've got one more picture. I think I've got one more picture I want to show you. So,
Yes.
this woman is named Judy Young. She will become our oldest inductee ever.
Wait a minute. You know the rules. You don't ever say anything about a woman's weight or their age. What are you doing?
She's proud.
Yeah.
She
All
is
right.
97 years old, and is an 8-time national record holder in masters swimming.
Holy cow.
She broke a record 3 months ago in the 500-yard freestyle. Still setting records nationally at the age of 97. Think about that.
Jeff wanted to know her time. I think he used to be a swimmer. Any idea what her time was in that?
I don't
No, we
know.
don't. It was fast.
When you're 97 and
Fast
you can
enough.
swim 500,
That's over a quarter of a mile, right?
I don't know, Cheryl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was Jeff's Zook's event. Okay.
Yeah?
Jeff, you'll have to get out and compete against her.
I got my money on her, Jeff. So those are 8 inductees that we're putting in this year.
97
Aren't
years
they
old.
outstanding? From
Listen,
a wide variety of
Every
sports.
year you bring in a different group, and this is like
National and world champions,
Chautauqua County.
Chautauqua County. But I might have saved the best for last because sitting right next to me,
You're putting pressure on your guest.
well, she deals with pressure. She thrives on pressure. So, Doc, I want to introduce Cheryl Burns, better known as Burns. Burns is an accomplished athlete in any number of sports.
But can she swim?
Sure can.
We sure can.
Roller skate.
We're going to get into that in a minute.
No.
Unicycle?
Yes.
Anything. Anything. So, Doc, you've got some of her highlights on that piece of paper.
my gosh,
So I'm going to turn the show back over to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Now,
And then you and
this
Cheryl can have a nice
Sunrise,
conversation.
formerly known as the Randy Anderson Show.
Cinch up your seatbelt.
All right, there. Cheryl, welcome to the show, and that was quite an introduction by Randy. And you're really our first athlete to be inducted into the Hall of Fame that's been on our show. Even though he's been inducted, but not as an athlete, but as your administrative role as president and so forth. So this is really exciting for us to talk to somebody that's about to be inducted. And so you asked me what was the first question I was going to ask you. So I will ask you the first question I was going to ask you is just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and where you went to school, and whatever you want to share. It's up to you.
Hey, I was born in Dunkirk, Brooks Hospital, and we lived up on a hill, little hill, in the town of Sheridan, Arkwright area.
Oh yeah.
Went to Forestville School, and we had 9 kids in the family. I was number 6
Wow.
in the middle of 3 girls. So I was kind of lost in the mix, but made my way by trying to keep peace, but also having my battles for competition. And so yes, I continued in Forestville, graduated from there, and I said I'm never going to school. I hate school. And after about 4 years of monkeying around and being on a farm, I look up one day on a nice fall day and I said, what in the world are you doing? So I went down the very next day and applied to college, and they said, no, you can't get in here. Your SAT scores are horrible. And I said, well, I blew them off, I was like, I didn't want to go to school. And he's like, oh, well, can't help you. But then I went back the very next day and I said to him, hey, one thing I learned in middle grades, and I remember hearing this, was no one can deny you an education. I want to go to school.
Good for you.
He was pretty mad at me because he didn't want anybody challenging him.
Yeah.
But he said, well, we'll let you in part-time. And if you can prove yourself and maintain this average, we'll let you in full-time. Rest is history. Of course, I loved it. And I got to play 2 years at Fredonia State, transferred to Slippery Rock for my BS degree. I just competed in sports all along in co-ed sports with all my friends at Slippery Rock. And we had great co-ed championship teams in about every sport they offered. It was so much fun. And then I got a job out there, and then I started back and at Slippery Rock and finished up my master's at Fredonia.
What was your undergraduate in?
I had environmental and sciences.
Okay.
And then I wanted to do elementary ed. I really wanted to be a teacher. So, I went to my baccalaureate to become a teacher and took general science, biology, and elementary ed. And then I fell into different positions with Penn State College, and a traveling road show in science and technology, where I rode my unicycle through fire and did games with kids. and I got paid good money.
Wait a minute. You said you rode through fire, like for real fire?
No, I threw fire.
You threw
but
fire.
Rode my unicycle
Wait a
everywhere.
minute. Wait. I told you if you open the door, I'm going. So you threw fire.
Sure.
Like why?
I can't because it had kids. It had kids like, wow, look at that.
No. I mean like fire, like something that was like. Well, how did you produce the fire?
It's a magic trick. I can't tell you that.
Oh, Randy was in the audience. I think he took
Burn my hair off.
Well, no, I had maybe 1,000 kids in the audience,
Yeah.
and I could interact on
Yeah.
energies
Yeah.
in the United States, and
Excellent.
it was
So
dance.
you kind of
timers.
combine sports and science together. It sounded like
Sure,
that's the way to do it, right?
it's fun.
Yeah.
So at Forestville,
Yes.
back in her high school days, she was an outstanding basketball and softball player. When she graduated from Fredonia, she was their all-time leading scorer in basketball. In fact, she was so good, they retired her jersey in her senior year. Nobody does that.
What was your number?
11.
No schools
That was at
retire
Forestville.
jerseys when the kids are still at the school. I mean, it's crazy what she's accomplished.
Wow. So when you were at Forestville, you had to battle Ripley in softball, I'm sure.
Oh,
There
for
was
sure.
there was a great competition among with the Ripley girls all the time. I remember in softball, they were just crazy. Wow.
Well, we had good teams, and the teams really,
You always enjoyed watching all that competition. Yeah.
Next, Cheryl got into running, and it became an elite runner. How did you get involved in that? What made you decide you wanted to become a runner?
because I love basketball, and you just couldn't find enough people to play basketball. At college, it was easy. I'd just go down to the court and I'd say, hey guys, you want to play pickup? And they'd look at me really funny because, a girl, and back then, they're like, oh yeah, okay. And so I'd put together a couple of teams and we'd run the court, and I'd be the only girl, and it was tough because if I didn't make my first shot, I wasn't getting the ball the rest of the game, So that was counted on. Make the first shot.
I understand that feeling. I'm tall, but I wasn't a great shot. I was better just as a get in the way.
But and then a good way that there weren't enough basketball players, and I certainly played softball for local taverns and that. But
Yeah.
I love running, so I started running.
What was your area of running? I mean, was it long distance, short?
It was
distance?
distance.
Okay, like what?
Yeah, 5K, 10K, and anything after that up to marathons. I was working for Chautauqua County, and we're out having lunch on a whim, and one of my coworkers says, "Hey, Miller." It was Miller then.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you do a race? I said, Bishop Timon. I'll never forget it. My first 5K ever.
We don't talk about Bishop Timon in front of Canisius graduate here.
I can imagine. You could
Because
just
it's not quite as bad as St. Joe's, but Timon, all right.
you could feel that energy. So yeah, I went up there and ran that, and then we came back and we're having lunch again a couple weeks later, and one of the guys says, "Hey, Miller, you're ranked in the Buffalo News?" And I go, "What?" I go, "What is that?" So he explains what this is. It's a running series out of Buffalo, Western New York, and it hooked me.
So at what point in your career was this now? This was as an adult?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, in my 20s.
Okay,
Like
okay.
late 20s.
So what were you running then, the 5Ks and 10Ks?
5 and 10Ks.
Yeah.
And I decided to do the Buffalo Marathon just to see how I'd do. And if I had any clue of what was going on out there, I could have done better, but I ended up 4th overall in my first marathon.
First ever.
Yeah. I was only 2 minutes off the front runner, and I went, son of a gun.
If I had had more pasta the day before, I would have finished third.
At 2 different times in her career, she was the top ranked runner in her age group
wow.
in all of Western New York.
Yeah.
I ran cross country for a couple years, and the only story I want to tell you was the guy in front of me, I pleaded with him and said, "Don't let the bus leave till I get there."
Oh my
I
God.
was the tail end. I wasn't a runner by choice. I was like drafted, and I was always the tail end. I said, "Don't leave without me."
That did enable me to qualify for Boston that very year. My first marathon,
Wow. So you ran
qualified for
Boston?
Boston. I ran
How'd you do
Boston
there?
on my birthday. I don't know.
Okay.
Because you're put in these huge piles of people,
14,000 people.
and and you don't even know. It took you 15 minutes just to get to the start line when you heard that gun go. It was amazing.
Now, your time starts when you cross the start line with a chip in your shoe or something?
There was no chip. You
So-
had a number then.
Oh,
So
but you're already 15 minutes in the hole just before
Pretty
you even
much.
start. So you got to make up that 15 minutes because you're not in the elite group. Well, that
yeah,
stinks.
exactly.
That really stinks.
Very humbling.
I would have been the next day guy. Okay, so marathon. So then you moved into other things, right? From what I'm told, like biathlons and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, at triathlon for sure.
All right, let's talk about what's a triathlon. I know what it is, but maybe everybody else doesn't.
Swim, bike, run, in that order. And there's your super sprint now, which is, then there's a sprint, there's an Olympic, half Ironman, Ironman. And I have found that I've done best in the sprint because I just love to go completely all out as hard as you can and be done.
So what are the distances in swim, bike, run in the sprint?
In the sprint, you do, usually it's a half-mile swim, a 14-mile bike, and a 5K run.
This is all in one day?
This is within an hour
One right
and
after
18
another.
or 15 minutes. This is like an hour and 15 minutes or an hour and 18.
Put the camera back on my face. What? Mark Wilson's been here, and I know you know Mark and Tanya,
Yeah.
and he tells me about these things, and I just go, what? I'm happy if I could just get the 14-mile bike down, let alone the run and the swim. If I had to do the swim, I wouldn't be here. I'd be gone.
So it's not
Underwater
like she's just
somewhere.
competing in these things. She's winning these things. Talk about being a national qualifier in the USA Triathlons. How many times have you done that?
We're talking beyond Chautauqua County Triathlon?
Oh yeah, we're talking
For
USA Nationals. So come on, Cheryl. I know you're humble, but talk about your USA career.
Well, you have to qualify really locally in order to advance to your nationals, and you have to be ranked in a certain percentage in your age group, and then you can move on to nationals. And if you rank there, which is usually anywhere from top 3 to 5, one year when they had the U.S., it was in Chicago, they had probably 15 to 18 deep, because when it's your country, you can have more pool. You can have more people competing.
Right,
you have an
'cause you're
advantage.
locals, yeah.
Yes. So I remember there was a year of like 18. They went deep in my age category, but usually it's 3 to 5. And my first ever was in Vermont Nationals, and it was an Olympic distance, which is twice what I just described here. And I took third, and I was so mad at myself. I've never done this. So again, here I am, just doing it because I want to try it.
Sure, what
and
the
I have
heck?
no clue what's going on. I don't study this stuff. I just do it.
That's a little scary.
So I get in there and I'm standing on the podium watching first, second, and then here's Burns, and I'm so blinded with anger that I didn't do better.
Finished third. Mad at herself.
Not even realizing I just qualified for Worlds. I went home. I didn't go to Worlds. I was just like, I was so mad I didn't place first.
Finished third in the nation.
It's just like,
Mad
Number
at
3 in the what year was that?
oh my gosh.
Well, approximately. What decade or whatever?
2010.
Oh, not so long
Something
ago.
like that.
2010. You were the number 3 person in the country in the triathlon.
In my age group.
In your age group.
Yes.
And do they go by gender as well, or women's?
Yes.
Okay, so all by. Huh. So who are you, like, sponsored by people, or how's that work?
No, but the year that I went to Australia,
Australia,
yes.
which is tomorrow here.
Exactly. And when I called home, I said, well, I told everybody at home, I said, hey, it's going to be a great day tomorrow. It's sunny. And let me just tell you, it's going to be really good out there. And they'd all laugh. But that was an amazing adventure because I did really well nationally. Got to go to Australia.
For the World?
Sprint distance world championships. And boy, it became a real stinger, of course. But The Jamestown Cycle Shop really helped me considerably in getting my bike there. They sent it to a bike shop there in Australia. Those guys were all ready for me. I walk in, and the cycle shop had a card there for me on a good luck card.
I'm just happy if my suitcase gets to
Right?
the other end of the airport.
Truly.
And you had a bike to send to
Truly.
Australia?
Yeah, and it is probably $1,000 to get your bike to an event.
What kind of bike do you have?
It's a triathlon racing bike, and it's Trek.
Yeah,
And
I got a Trek.
oh, they helped me out, with the bike. They gave me a beautiful bike to use, and
How many gears?
how many gears?
Gears on the
Oh,
bike.
gears? There's like 11.
11 and 2?
Yeah, because it's a sprint.
I have to ask these questions because Jeff
No,
and
that's
his
okay.
brother are sitting going, I wonder what that bike
Perfect.
is.
Oh, all right.
We know
Good.
we know these things here. We don't know anything else, but we know that.
Well, they got me all set there and took a ton of stress off. But that event, I came in fourth. I was
world.
nine.
In the world.
Fourth in the world.
I was
world.
9 seconds off the podium. I had a few tears, I will admit, and I was only 1 minute off the world champion.
Are you serious?
So there was 4 of us that were right there.
Okay. How do you prepare for these things? I mean, do you train all the time or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a full-time job.
Well, you would think so, but I wish it were my full-time job. For some people, it is.
Yeah.
And they do have sponsors in that, and even in my age categories, they have coaches and doctors, and they get their sponsorships. But I had a full-time job, and
You kind of show up.
I-
Yo, what's happening?
yeah, here I am again, the person that knows nothing, but I want to try it.
So, what do you credit your athleticism to?
Just real drive, a lot of competition growing up, genetics, of course. There's a lot of good runners in our family.
Oh, and so there's others of
Yeah,
you that
they
are-
didn't pursue it like I have, but you could see it growing up. There's a lot of good athletes, and
Do you know the Swanson family?
oh yes,
Well, we're really good friends with them. And
Are you?
Nolan
oh for sure.
Nolan ran across, against my son in their first competition, and I think Scott and Nolan were running together. I don't even remember what year it was. They were like freshman and sophomore years or whatever. And Nolan buzzes by Scott, and Scott was the #1 freshman that year in cross country. And Nolan, the second year that Scott was running, buzzes by him, loses his shoe somewhere on the course, and takes first place.
Here you go.
I mean, and then he went on to world champions and things like that. So I mean, yeah, we know all those guys.
My first and only race that I won against men and women was hilarious because it was a torrential downpour.
Oh boy.
And I passed this 18-year-old young man taller than me, and I'm thinking, there's no way I'm going to catch this boy. And sure enough, I get just past him. I'm thinking he's going to rip past me. And it's pouring rain, you guys, and my shorts are coming down.
Oh boy.
And I'm thinking, I am going to win my first race ever, but I'm not, because I'm going to trip right before the finish line.
Yep.
And my shorts were, my family was laughing so
my
hard
God.
because my shorts were down. Luckily, I had other pants on, but oh my God, I could have just tripped over everything.
So the 18-year-old boy was anybody in particular?
I don't know who he was,
okay.
but
I was going to say I was wondering if it was Nolan because
No.
oh no,
no.
he'd
I
have beat
don't
me.
know where you are in
He'd have beat me.
I was kidding you about cross country because all the guys I ran with, they were all shorter than me. Their muscle structure was totally different than mine. Mine are long and stretched out. I should be a volleyball player, not a runner. And these guys were just compact machines, and you seem to be the same way. It's just you got it or you don't have it, and then if you apply it, you go from there. Any suggestions for young ladies who are watching right now?
Oh my goodness, just always be patient with your body. A lot of young girls get to a certain age where they're maturing and they slow down and then they give it up. And they really shouldn't. If you're patient enough, women runners truly elite don't really mature and become their fastest until mid to late 20s, even 30s. My fastest races were in my 30s because I matured quite late. And, I hit a national and international rank 5K. 10K in my 39th year.
Wow.
And I had a 17:32 5K, which
I still have hope. I'm still maturing.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
She's talking physically, not mentally, Doc.
And you know, boys, they're in their 20s when they really hit that peak. And
I've heard that same thing about runners, that it's later on in life.
yeah, and you try to tell the young girls, no, don't worry right now. It's
keep
going to
at
come
it,
back.
keep at it.
Yeah, you just keep going.
In the world of commercials that you see on TV, we're trying to lose weight, we're trying to take supplements, we're trying to do all these crazy things. You know, I won't go through all the commercials. You all know what I'm talking about. What do you do as far as preparation, as far as your body and good health?
I'm a proponent of eat what your ancestors ate. If they were healthy people, then that's what you should do. That's your genetics, that's your ancestry. You know, and to go through different fads is just that, it's a fad. It works for some, it doesn't work for others, but when you stop the fad, things change again.
So what was your ancestry and what did they eat?
We were mainly German, Scandinavian, and we were meat and potatoes and a vegetable, and that's what we grew up on.
Wonderful.
they were-
I'm half pasta.
Yeah. I should, oh man, you should be a marathoner.
He's a marathon pasta eater.
Okay, but I'm really trying to be serious here about what to eat, because you know, people throw all these cockamamie things at you. And as far as supplements and things like that, do you get into vitamins or proteins or anything like that?
I certainly do a multivitamin, and everybody in this area should be doing vitamin D. My goodness, we actually haven't seen the sun but once since Christmas.
I know.
I will.
I actually put my sunglasses in the truck today. 'Cause
Isn't
they
that
said
something?
It's
Here we go.
It's supposed to start today.
Should be, but no, I just say to people, get outside. You know that you at least get some UV rays. You
Yeah.
get some.
Turn on lights to get outside.
Yeah, get
we have
out
a phone
there
call.
and-
So
Okay.
ready? Okay. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Jack. This is Linda Spalding.
Good
morning.
The world winning. What did you win at? I can't remember.
Pardon?
You hold a national championship in something, don't you?
Oh, I
Cooking.
really do I? I do. I don't think it's in sports.
Oh, okay.
Although I do love sports, and I love to swim and hike and watch.
There you go. There you go.
Bike and all those things.
Okay.
And good morning, Randy and Cheryl.
Hi, Linda.
Morning.
Good morning, and thank you for all that you do and your commitment to physical fitness, a healthy body, and a healthy mind. Those are the two important things. Exercise and eating right, like you said. And I agree, eat what your ancestors ate. They, especially the ones that lived to be in their late 80s, 90s, and even 100.
Yeah. You're right on the money there. So
Yeah, and I believe in home cooked thing and foods, and I'm not crazy about fast foods or anything like that.
Yep. I love to cook at home too, and you're absolutely right. After a while, it's sort of like you go to restaurants or you're on vacation, you're hitting all the restaurants, and you feel like a big sack of something or other.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
hard. So, you enjoying the show? Is this fascinating?
Oh, it is fascinating. It is fascinating. And you were saying, Cheryl, that your family is Scandinavian.
Yes, certainly. Something like
And you
35%.
Yeah, you must eat a lot of seafood and fish.
We try to.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoy it.
Good.
Yeah, I do too. I love fish.
Okay.
Seafood.
Mm-hmm.
Well, near the waters, we're so fortunate to have the fresh catches.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, I don't want to detain you. Have a wonderful
Well, thanks for
weekend
calling.
and week.
All right,
And
you
this
too.
is a very fascinating presentation.
Of
Thank
course.
you again.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Let me just jump in real quick, Doc.
Oh, you already did.
Yeah, I know it's too late. So,
The camel is in the tent.
I want to get back. I want to get back to Cheryl, but I want to take the opportunity to provide your listeners a way to purchase a ticket to our banquet on February 19th.
Okay.
Each of our inductees, including Cheryl, will be giving remarks that evening, and I've had the opportunity to read the remarks that each of our inductees are going to be giving, and they are so well written, so inspirational.
And humble.
Humble.
They're always humble.
Well, and Cheryl will be the first one to tell you, you don't get to the Hall of Fame by yourself.
No.
My wife usually gives me directions.
Yeah, well, she usually has to drive you. But my point is, there are many people
You're on
that
a lot
have
of
helped
shoulders,
you
lots of shoulders,
get there.
yeah.
And Cheryl and the other inductees will be sharing their stories on how they got there and who helped them get
Absolutely
there.
right.
So tickets are available, Doc, at the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame, and we are open today for Doors Open Jamestown, so
Right.
you can stop in and see me later
10 to
today.
4?
10 to 4. Tickets are also available down at Cheryl's sponsor, down at the Jock Shop.
Thank you.
We
yes.
have tickets down at the Jock Shop, so you can get tickets there. Your listeners in the North County can get tickets at Matt's News on 3rd Street in Dunkirk.
Okay.
And probably the easiest way of all is to go to our website, chautauquasportshalloffame.org,
Okay.
and you can order tickets
Sounds
online
great.
and use your PayPal account.
Okay, excellent.
In addition to our inductees, we're also going to recognize 8 outstanding high school
Right,
athletes
right. I
at our
remember you did
banquet
that.
this year. Let me just read the list real quick.
Go for it.
From the Clymer Sherman Panama football team, we'll be recognizing first team All-State players Bryce Hinsdale, Tate Katniss, and Grant Lichtus.
Nice.
From the Chautauqua Lake volleyball team, who won the state title this year in Class D volleyball, we're going to be recognizing their coach, Joanne Meadows, and 2 of their players who made first team All-State, Bryn Engdahl and Ava Olson. There was also an all-state volleyball player from Southwestern this year. Her name is Lauren Cotter. We're inviting Lauren to our banquet. And our last athlete that we will be honoring at our banquet is an All-American diver from Fredonia Central, Elizabeth Pucci Schaefer. All-American diver.
Nice, nice.
Terrific.
You know, while Linda was on the talking with us, I got a question in my earpiece for Cheryl. And as an athlete, as you move about the country and about around the world, how do you deal with jet lag in your sport?
I was so excited going to Australia. There was minimal. Coming home, I felt awful, and I went to school and I went to work the next day. You know,
What is
because
wrong with you?
yeah,
You didn't research that part of it, did you?
I know they gave us 3 weeks, and I didn't get paid for all that. So my school.
Yeah. It's all right.
But so I thought, well, I need to get back to work. So I went into work and felt so awful, and they said, "Hey, Burns, you know you have a sub in here today." And I said, "Oh my gosh, I do." I said, "Okay, I'll go back home."
So she ran home,
Yeah.
so to speak.
No, but it took a couple days coming home.
Absolutely.
And that was really strange because going there, I was just so excited. I hardly had any,
Yeah.
but yeah, coming
Sometimes
home.
when I go to Europe, jet lag hits me harder than coming back, and my wife is the other way around, and I don't know why it
Really?
is. People are different with
Yeah.
jet lag.
Cheryl, we got about a minute left.
Yep.
What's your next goal in your
Yep, that's
career?
what I was gonna ask.
What's your target?
I really keep thinking that I'm getting this calling to get more kids involved.
Mm-hmm.
It's we're too stagnated, and I really want to go out and speak to kids about how you can go through all kinds of adversities in life, and no matter what, if you keep your head straight and you focus on these kind of goals, you're going to come out okay.
Excellent. You know, I appreciate you coming down today and the message you were sharing with all of us. And I think that goes with any aspect of our lives, but especially our physical health. And, you know, we kid about, you know, this and that, but, you know, we all try, at least most people I know, to get out, walk, exercise, walk the dog, go out in the woods, get out in the fresh air, soak up the vitamin D, and, you know,
Yeah.
try to lead a healthy life and eat good foods. So, Randy, one more time, when is the induction?
Monday, February 19th, President's Day.
Okay, and that's at the
Lakewood Rod and Gun Club.
Same thing. Cheryl, anything you want to share? Last thing?
Oh, I just so appreciate what you guys do and what you've done, and
Yeah.
thank you for inviting me.
Well,
That was
as
so
I said in the
nice.
beginning of the show, we try to spotlight everything in the Chautauqua County, and this is just a great thing. So thanks again. Randy, I'll see you next year.
Thank you, Doc.
Okay, and
Thank
good
you.
luck. And good luck in all that you're doing.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, I hope you enjoyed that show. I sure did. And we're going to do this all again next Saturday. If you want to watch the show again, it's going to be on YouTube forever and ever, and it's going to be on at 2 and 8 throughout the week. Take care. We'll see you next week. Bye now. All right. So were you
Thank
running
you.
today? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.